All right, we are live. And I think I finally got OBS figured out to where it's actually going to work. And so we're going to do it. We'll check out this one. We just saw a triple play so stupid
Every year
that the announcer roasted the player who caused it. All right.
Every year there's a number of moronic plays that take place that have a team's fan base face-palming so hard it leaves a handprint, even in spring training when the games don't actually count. And we saw exactly one of these moments today in a contest between the Cubs and Giants, when a triple play took place on a single to right field.
On a single to right field.
3 outs were recorded on routine base knocks.
I just love the jerseys in this game. Blue, orange, it contrasts nicely. But let's see.
And the manner in which it came about was so unexpected, it prompted the iconic announcer calling the game, John Miller, to call out the player mainly to blame in a hilariously honest way. The game began in about as unusual fashion as possible, as before we even saw anything in terms of play on the field, there was a delay when there was a fire alarm that went off caused by some fan apparently smoking on premises. This came shortly before our titular character, Matt Shaw, would draw a walk, getting pushed up to second when Alex Bregman did the same. It was here that we would see our highlighted moment, when Seiya Suzuki flipped a 2-1 fastball just over the head of Luis Arraez in right field, with Shaw getting a fairly bad read on it, resulting in him only
Sorry, I gotta get back. I missed what it was.
It was here that we would see our highlighted moment, when Seiya Suzuki flipped a 2-1 fastball just over the head of Luis Arraez in right field, with Shaw getting a fairly bad read on it, resulting in him only getting up to third. This created some chaos, as Suzuki, assuming the play was probably going to go to that bag, took off for second, getting thrown out by Rafael Devers, leaving Bregman to make his own way slowly to third base, where he was tagged out because there was already someone there. That left Shaw safe on the bag, but for some reason, the sophomore infielder decided
he stepped off the bag. Whoa, he stepped off the bag. What a moron.
Apparently assuming he'd been tagged out, creating a triple play out of thin air for the Giants, drawing a surprised reaction from
wow, crazy triple play. I love the flowers on their hat too. I was noticing that with the Tigers game. They had flowers on their hat. I'm not sure exactly what that's about, but it does look nice.
This to say.
And now the runner at third leaves the base, and he's going to.
Dude, I hate Devers so much. I'm a Yankees fan, and he was on the Red Sox for the longest time. Freaking hate Devers, bro. I don't even have a good reason. I just hate him.
To end the inning. Oh, wow. Matt Shaw made a boneheaded rookie mistake there. Bregman was the guy who got called out. He left the bag, and then Shaw left the bag as well. And then the coaches there said, where are you going? Get back over there. As Chapman walked over and tagged him out. Triple play. Unbelievable.
It's not often you hear an announcer call something boneheaded on a big league field, but considering what he had just witnessed, I do think it was appropriate. I really have no idea what Matt was thinking here. Pretty much anybody who knows the rules of baseball should know that he was safe right where he was. But hey, at least it's spring, so all this is going to end up being is a funny footnote instead of some kind of highlight to be added to a year-end list of empty-brained maneuvers. The Giants would eventually end up winning this one by a final score of 4-2, with one.
Sorry, I'm not reacting much. I'm trying to make sure the stream isn't choppy, so I'm on my phone looking at it. Once again, I have very limited experience streaming, so you're gonna have to just bear with me. But I'm not having a Hassan Piker moment where I pause the stream and just leave. I don't want to be the type of person that just steals content for sure, but
being that only one run in the entire contest was scored on a hit. This RBI single from Will Brennan. The rest were on field outs and a wild pitch. Alright everybody, if you made it this far, I appreciate you watching.
And by the way, I will get a better camera too. I'm using my camera's webcam, so I will get a better camera. Alright. Let's see what else. Breaking down and ranking every World Classic Baseball team. Nah. Let's see what else. Predicting how many games each team will win. Let's see. Let's watch this Red Sox one. The difference between a college team and an MLB team, and you're about to find out too. What's crazy is, okay, so for those who don't know, the Boston Red Sox played the Northeastern Huskies NCAA team, and Northeastern was actually winning at one point. Yeah, believe it or not, they were actually winning at one point, but you'll see how it ended up.
We officially got underway yesterday with the slate filled with MLB teams facing off, as you'd expect. But like every year, and what is a tradition for their ball club, the Red Sox faced off against the Northeastern University Huskies, in what amounted to, in large part, a televised scrimmage. But it wouldn't take long for the professional team to remind anybody who was watching of the differences between the levels of these squads, and it ended up resulting in an outright bloodbath. But it certainly wouldn't start that way, as the Huskies got out to a 1-0 lead in the top of the first after Harrison Feinberg notched a hit, then stole second base, eventually scoring when Ryan Garrity singled up the middle. An impressive start for a squad that's been one of the best in the entire college game over the last
49. So this was Northeastern Huskies, 49-11 record, set program and conference record for wins this season. Stole NU Northeastern University record, 196 bases. Set NU record with 17 shutouts, fifth most in NCAA history. Yeah, so they're no pushover. They're a decent team. Recorded first NCAA regional win since 1973. So yeah, they're a good team. But we'll see how they fared against
seasons. And they weren't done putting runs on the board early.
And like I said, I'm a Yankees fan, so I hate the Red Sox.
As after Christian Campbell tied things up in the bottom of the first, Anthony Rusciario, the team's 7-hitter, led off with a single, then proceeded to steal second and third base, managing to draw an errant throw in the process, giving Northeastern yet another small cushion. But this would be about the extent of their impressive run, because, starting in the third, the difference between the depths of these teams started to emerge.
And that's where it comes in, the depth. See, the Boston Red Sox have a whole farm system, and you got to realize with spring training, after like the fourth inning, it's just a bunch of minor leaguers. It's literally just a bunch of minor leaguers. And they have one of the best, I hate to say it, I hate to admit it, but they have one of the best minor league farm systems in the entire MLB. And people hate when I say the MLB. I'm sorry, folks. MLB. People literally hate that when I do that. But, yeah, you'll see where depth matters.
3 runs in that frame eventually coming across, courtesy of a Ronald Rosario absolute tank to center field, then a funky-looking error on a ground ball back to the mound, when lefty Scott Longo overshot his target by approximately 20 to 30 feet. Things got even worse in the fourth, when, in the middle of an interview with Garrity, Nathan Hickey would line a ball that sank just in front of him, eventually scoring 2 runs and eliciting a pretty funny response afterwards.
Yeah, that one I dropped last thing is because of you guys, too.
Yeah, just tell me you were Mike's back in the second or third. Don't worry about it.
That made the score at the time 7-2. But, oh man, were we not even close to seeing the end of this beatdown, as just 2 frames later, with a now 9-2 lead entering the 6th, the Red Sox's squad, made up at this point of almost entirely minor leaguers, proceeded to drop 9 runs on the Huskies, getting some help along.
9 runs is nuts. This was, by the way, minor leaguers who were hitting 9 runs. It's crazy.
From some sloppy defense and an absolute parade of singles. By the time the last out was made, it was 18-2, with only 18 outs having been recorded. Northeastern would grab one more in the top of the 7th when Tom Mahoney singled, but that was the final notable event, with the score eventually coming in at 18-3. Now, I'm not dogging a college team for getting blown out, just more so pointing out how insane the difference truly is between a squad that exists at the top rung of college baseball and a group of professionally employed players. It's rare that you get a chance to see 2 such disparate levels facing off, and it always makes for an entertaining watch for me personally. Alright everybody, if you made it this far, I appreciate
it. Video by Made the Cut. I already gave him a like, so we're gonna keep that. Alright. Let's see. This rookie came out in chains, then messed up. I personally don't care if you come out in chains, to be honest with you. I don't care if you're swagged up. In fact, it makes me like you more.
Max Clark is top 10 prospect in minor league baseball, being projected as having a plus eye, great speed, decent raw pop, and an excellent glove in center field. On top of all of these tools, he's also got 80 grade confidence, coming out in today's game with no less than 4 diamond chains on, despite being a rookie.
Yeah, it's swag as fuck. It's swag.
At this point projected to make the team on opening day, and that certainly is fine by me. I don't care about a player's stylings. But I do think it ended up looking a bit funny today after he proceeded to make nearly the same amount of mistakes in his very first inning out there as the number of chains he had on. Facing the Braves in the bottom of the first inning, Clark first garnered a little spotlight when Atlanta's broadcast crew pointed out all of his drip, with them even saying that he must be, quote, built different to sport that in a spring contest. In a manner of pretty hilarious timing, it would be just one batter later where Matt Olson would flip this ball to shallow left field, sending Max after it, where after battling the sun, he still got underneath it, called it, and then outright dropped it.
Damn, that's crazy. He just straight dropped it, bro.
Look at the broadcast cutout here. You can really tell it's still spring. The replay certainly doesn't do him any favors either. But
bro,
brutal, right?
How do you drop that?
Like
how do you drop that, dog? How do you drop that? That's crazy.
All the time. That's not all that notable. But it became a little bit more so when the very next batter, Austin Riley, launched a ball to left field, sending the lefty back this time onto the track, where he camped under it and at the last second pulled off of it. With it, mercifully for the time being, not scoring any runs because it bounced over the fence. That made it 2 embarrassing misses for the young player in just the first inning, and it set up Ozzie Albies with 2 guys on in scoring position, something that would indeed be consequential when the switch hitter lined a ball down the left field line to drive in both. This is where we would see our last misstep of the frame, when, with Albies attempting to get into second, Clark trickled in a 3-hopper because his foot slipped on the lip of the dirt and the grass. This meant in the span of just 4 batters, we had seen the rookie, decked out about as extravagantly as any player in the big leagues currently, have the ultimate nightmare sequence, especially for somebody
he moved away from that. Did you guys see that? He moved away from it.
Any player in the big leagues currently have the ultimate nightmare sequence, especially for somebody trying to make an impression in big league camp. I will reiterate.
Sorry guys, I'm trying to react to this more, but I'm trying to make sure my stream's good, bro.
I have to admit that the timing of the broadcast pointing it out with the subsequent missteps was comedy gold, and certainly worth detailing. Just an FYI as well to any angry Detroit fans out there who are going to watch this video and think I hate your team. I'm actually a fan myself, so it really is nothing personal. Alright everybody, if you made it this far, I appreciate you watching.
Alright, you're going to have my full attention on the next video. Once again, still trying to figure out this streaming thing. You're not going to be a genius at it your first time, but we're going to do Baseball Doesn't Exist. He always makes pretty good videos. Let's see, MLB is about to get even crazier.
So far, we've had close calls, terrible calls, questionable throws,
got his head taken off.
Greatest catch of all time, as well as the greatest throw of all time, a game at a NASCAR track, which was a disaster,
that game at that NASCAR track was crazy. I watched it last year. It started like 5 hours late because it was rainy. It's crazy.
The season is about to get even crazier. We're about to find out if this actually is the worst team of all time. One New York team is falling apart. The entire franchise wants people fired, and it might actually happen this time. The other New York team might be playing even worse, and they're even madder. The worst trade ever actually turned out to be genius. These teams might have hit rock bottom while somehow...
I honestly don't think the Braves are going to be very good for a few more seasons. They're just... I mean, I heard that Chris Sale, their pitcher, signed for another year, which is good, but man, they're just not the same Braves team they were that won the World Series a few years ago.
This became the best team in baseball.
Actually, I got a little pocket pancake right here that I munch on.
Yeah, I don't know who that or that reporter is. That reporter's cute.
You want some?
Oh, those are delicious.
All while the most expensive, most stacked team in the league by far is struggling, has fallen
Chill, it's just spring training. It's just spring training, chill.
Behind their rivals, while their greatest star is caught up in a fraud accusation that has people wondering, is Shohei
Ohtani agent accused of sabotaging $240 million Hawaii real estate project. A Hawaii real estate investor and broker are suing Shohei Ohtani, claiming the Los Angeles Dodgers star and his agent got them fired from a $240 million luxury housing development on Big Island's coveted Hapuna Coast, as they brought him into a divorce. That's interesting.
Ohtani, a criminal? The Dodgers enter the season with the highest payroll.
It seems like Ohtani has kind of been involved in a lot of scandals. There's that betting scandal where his interpreter, or was it his interpreter? It was somebody close to him. Basically took his money and gambled a bunch.
Of all time, a 97% chance to make the playoffs before.
I love those uniforms, bro. The gold Dodgers. I can't lie. I'm not a huge Dodgers fan. I'm a Yankees fan, but I love those jerseys.
They played a single game and a 23% chance to win the World Series. Then they went on to win their first 8 games. They looked unbeatable, but by May, what on paper looked like the most unstoppable rotation we've ever seen was decimated. Sick.
Yeah, their pitching staff is nuts, dude. They have a crazy pitching staff. Yamamoto, Shohei Ohtani, Clayton Kershaw, like one of the best rotations I've ever seen.
of their 9 starters were injured, and going into a series against their division rival, the Padres, they only had a 1-game lead. These two teams have been fighting for years, and going into this series, nothing had changed. On June 16th, Andy Pages got nailed by a pitch and didn't like it. He starts yelling at Cease, and the two teams start yelling at each other.
He's just like, what? I didn't do anything. The guy with the mustache, he's like, what? I didn't do nothing.
Like it. He starts yelling at Cease, and the two teams start yelling.
Dylan Cease, dude. I think who did he sign with just recently? Blue Jays. That's who he went to, the Blue Jays. Dylan Cease is the man, though.
Yelling at each other. Mike Shildt thought this was an overreaction and responded by telling Pages, quote, "Who the fuck are you?" The Dodgers would almost immediately blow the game open, scoring 5 times this inning. Then afterwards speculated that the Padres hit Pages on purpose.
I think that's a reach. I don't think he hit him on purpose. Cease does kind of seem like an asshole because he was just like, whoa, I didn't do nothing. Kind of an asshole move, but I don't think it was intentional.
Because he was picking up their signs earlier in the game. Manny Machado responded immediately, saying that the Dodgers got some big dogs we could hit over there, inferring that if they wanted to hit someone on the Dodgers...
Wow, that's kind of a dumb thing to say. We didn't hit him on purpose, but if we did, we would aim for Shohei Ohtani. We would aim for Showtime. We would aim for Freddie Freeman.
They hit a star and not an irrelevant outfielder like Andy Pages. And the very next game, that's what happened.
He does kind of have a point, though. Why would they hit Pages? Why would they do that? They would hit somebody who actually could have an impact on the game. No offense, Andy Pages, I'm just saying.
Third inning, the Dodgers hit Fernando Tatis Jr. in the back with a fastball. It's not clear whether it was intentional or not, but when...
That one might have been intentional as kind of a, payback. And Tatis is actually a home run threat. So.
Shohei Ohtani comes up the next inning. The Padres nail him with a fastball.
Yeah, now it's intentional. Now it's for sure intentional. Oh, fucking A. Look at Ohtani. Dude, they got him good.
Both benches are worn, but no one is ejected, and Dave Roberts is irate at what looked to be obviously an intentional hit by pitch. He gets ejected for arguing the warning that was given by umpires, but despite this warning, just
base Dave Roberts sticking up for his team.
4 innings later, when Jose Iglesias is hit by a pitch, Dodgers pitcher...
Man, that hit him, right on the elbow, bro. That looked like it was the elbow anyway. It might have been the hand, but it looked like the elbow.
Later, when Jose Iglesias is hit by a pitch,
yeah. 95 miles an hour to the elbow. I'm cringing just thinking about it, man.
Pitcher Matt Sauer is not ejected. This angered Manny Machado, who got out of the dugout to scream at the umpire and the Dodgers bench. Then 2 nights later, things hit a boiling point. In the 9th, a high fastball comes in and nails Tatis Jr. in the hand. This is the 3rd time.
That can legitimately break your hand. For those who don't know, that can legitimately break your hand.
The Dodgers had hit Tatis in just 10 days. The Padres are furious. The bench is clear. There is pushing between the managers and coaches. Everybody meets in the middle.
I mean, it was just a matter of time. They were literally hitting each other with pitches. Just a matter of time before it boils over.
Sit out and scream at each other for several minutes. And then later that inning, Shohei Ohtani gets nailed again.
Ohtani got hit twice, bro. They're racist. They hate Japanese people. What's wrong with them?
A 100-mile-per-hour fastball thrown by Robert Suarez. The benches were about to clear again, but Ohtani signaled his team to calm down and stay in the dugout.
Ohtani's a good dude. He's like, guys, just relax. Just relax, guys. It's all chill.
Manny Machado told the media, quote, "The Padres better pray the scans on Tatis's hand come back negative." And they did. Tatis was not significantly injured, but the damage had been done. The Dodgers schooled the Padres, beating them 5 times in 7 games. At this point, the Giants had become the Dodgers' biggest threat, which shocked everyone. They were picked to finish.
It's crazy because the Giants were on track to make the playoffs last year, and they just couldn't do it. They fell apart in like September and just lost their chance at the playoffs.
4th in the division and ended up being in 1st by the end of April, tied with the most wins in baseball, and by June had tied the Dodgers for 1st. Days after that, they made the most shocking trade in recent memory.
Once they got Devers, they actually went downhill. Like, you'd think that they would actually get better.
Rafael Devers is 7th in MLB in RBI, 8th in slugging, has the 10th most home runs, and has been by far the Red Sox best player. The Red Sox were hot. They had just won 5 in a row, swept the Yankees, and were just a half.
That's another thing, is the Yankees got dominated all season by the Red Sox, right? And then in the playoffs, the Yankees just took it to them, bro. I couldn't be prouder. I'm a Yankees fan. I love to see it.
Game out of a playoff spot when they decided they were going to trade their best player. As we covered on our second channel,
I don't think he's their best player. I think their best player is probably Duran. But that's just my personal opinion. I think Duran's the speediest for sure. Then again, they got a pretty good pitching staff too. So, I think Garrett Crochet might be their best player, or Duran. I don't think Devers was ever their best player.
While people like Jonathan Papelbon and David Ortiz supported the trade, casting Devers as somewhat of a clubhouse cancer who played for, quote, himself and himself only, everybody else saw this as the dumbest trade of all time. In exchange for one of the best hitters in the league, they got an injured pitcher with an ERA over 6, another pitcher who was in the minors after having an ERA over 4, another prospect we couldn't even find a picture of, and a former first-round draft pick in single A. One MLB exec, when hearing about this trade, said,
"Yeah, that trade was a robbery, dude. They robbed the Boston Red Sox, bro. Devers is a legit dog. I don't like him, like I said earlier. He once a Red Sox member, always a Red Sox member until you join the Yankees. I hate you forever till you join the Yankees. Sorry, I can't stand the Red Sox, bro."
Quote, "Holy fuck." One agent said, quote, "That's all they got." And Boston.com called it, quote, "an organizational failure that trumps them all." The organization had soured on Devers after he was upset the team moved him from third base
take some medication
to DH to make room for Alex Bregman. Then later in the year, when the Red Sox first baseman suffered a season-ending injury, Devers told them he was not willing to learn first base. But the day he arrived in San Francisco, Devers said, quote, "I'm here to play whatever position they need me to play." He was seen taking ground balls at first base his first day, got a massive introduction, and hit an RBI double in his very first game. A team that was 10 games over 500, 2 games behind the Dodgers, and comfortably in a playoff spot, just added one of the best hitters.
Devers was such a big baby when they traded him to the Giants. He was with the Red Sox, and he's like, "I'm not willing to learn first base."
In the league, and the Giants look legit, while the Red Sox, on the other hand, were in damage control. The GM speculated that the Red Sox might actually end up
Got some
winning
people
more
in here,
games
5 people.
without
Let's go.
Devers than they
Let's
would
get some
if
chats
they
in
had
here,
Devers,
dude.
which
Somebody say
confused
something.
and pissed off Red Sox
Somebody say something. Come on, give me some chats.
fans everywhere. They found themselves in 4th place behind the Rays, who don't even have their own stadium. Their stadium was destroyed in a hurricane, so they've been playing in the Yankees' spring training facility. Yeah, when the Yankees go on the road to play the Rays, they play in their own spring training facility. In 2021, the Blue Jays had to do that due to COVID restrictions. Now they're back home in Canada, and in July, they got hot, won 10 in a row, then 19 out of 23 games. Since then, they have the best offense in baseball. George Springer's unstoppable. Vladdy Jr.'s been proving he's worth the 500.
Yeah, I honestly am going to be honest. I don't think that the Blue Jays are going to be as good as they were last year. I would be surprised if they even made the playoffs. I mean, they did get a good acquisition when they signed Dylan Cease, but I don't know. I just can't see them even being that good, to be honest.
$100 million. They just paid him. And Dalton Varsho making one of the most ridiculous catches you'll ever see.
Whoa, what the hell? That was crazy, dude. Behind his back after he fell. That's crazy.
They just paid him. And Dalton Varsho making one of the most ridiculous catches you'll ever see in your life helped the Blue Jays take their playoff odds from 26% to 87% in 40 days. They swept the Yankees 4 games in a row, scoring 36 runs, and ever since, the Yankees have been lost. Last year in the World Series, they fell apart, making 3 errors in 1 inning to get eliminated. Their defense might have gotten worse.
What is happening? We gave this fucking team 6 fucking outs.
That's how I feel when I'm watching games. Dude, it's so tough being a Yankees fan sometimes, bro.
Anthony Volpe, who won a Gold Glove 2 seasons ago, has the second most errors in baseball. His fielding slump resulted in 5 errors in 9 games. Yankees fans haven't been taking it well.
Play in baseball! You've overpaid soft belt.
I relate to all these angry New Yorkers. I'm a spiritual New Yorker because I relate. I'm from Utah. I'm a spiritual New Yorker because I relate to all these angry New Yorkers.
For over 100 years, the Yankees famously banned their players from having facial hair. Then they signed Devin Williams. He raised concerns over the policy, and for the first time ever, Devin Williams and other Yankees players are rocking beard.
I actually did a video on that if you want to check it out. I did a video on why the Yankees banned facial hair. Of course, that video was before they made the rule that you could grow facial hair, but if you want to check that out.
In games. But now some Yankees fans want the beards gone again. Devin Williams, who was one of the best relievers in baseball, has been terrible with the Yankees. He has an ERA over 5, worse than any other closer in baseball. Gave up at least 1 run in 5 straight appearances. And Yankees fans did not take this well.
It's over. This year is done.
However, the Yankees responded and had a massive deadline for their bullpen. They added David Bednar, Camilo Doval, and Jake Bird, 2 all-star closers and a pitcher who at one point had an ERA under 3 in Colorado.
Doval from the Giants? The Yankees got Camilo Doval!
Then, in the very first game they played, Jake Bird gave up 4 runs. David Bednar gave up 2 runs, and Camilo Doval blew the save. All 3 trade pieces gave up at least 1.
Yeah, Yankees were bad last year. I think this is an old video, though, because it's talking about last season. Yeah, 6 months ago. We need to watch a more recent video. Let's look up spring training reactions. Spring training, MLB 2026. Best moments from spring training this weekend. Definitely going to get copyright claimed on this stream. So if you have it in your heart to donate to me, please do.
As an Oriole, that's it. I mean, it's just 3 at-bats today, but there's going to be a lot more to come. 5-year contract, average of $31 million a year. Second largest outlay in franchise history behind what they gave to Chris Davis. Here's a swing, high drive, left field.
I hate that that's against my Yankees, but that was a nice hit.
Welcome, Pete Alonso. He hits it out.
Dude, Pete Alonso, the polar bear. Dude, he's nasty, bro.
Back beyond those bleachers in left field, a majestic shot. And it couldn't have been anything else, right? The first runs of spring training come off the bat of the big man. It is Pete Alonso to make it 2-0.
Yeah, Stanley O heading back, and looks like love at first sight.
It feels like he's almost just sat on this. Stays back, hanging breaking ball. Yeah, take a little bit longer to watch it fly.
I was wondering how odd this would be to see him in Diamondback teal, and it is definitely odd.
Yeah, I mean, we got used to the Cardinal red, but...
Oh, that jumped off his bat.
It's got some carry to the wall, goes Veen, and it's out of here.
Beautiful.
Left a breaking ball up, and for Nolan...
All right, guys, I'm going to sign off.